The concept of superfoods is kind of interesting because I guess it's sort of a marketing gimmick in a way, but basically what we're talking about when we're talking about superfoods are foods that are just so loaded with nutrients. They're so nutrient dense, and usually for a relatively low amount of calories. So you've got, kind of low calorie, high nutrient, and very filled with antioxidants and anti-inflammatories, the kinds of things we're talking about. And, if I had to pick a bunch of these just off the top of my head, I'd think of wild salmon. Why? Because it's high in protein, high in omega-3 fatty acids, the best kind. And the thing that gives wild salmon its pink color is actually, it comes from their natural diet, which is krill and crustaceans. And those krill and crustaceans contain a very powerful red antioxidant called astaxanthin. You don't get that in farmed salmon. So wild salmon's really the way to go when you're talking about a superfood. Blueberries, I would consider anybody's list of superfoods. Berries in general, blackberries, strawberries, raspberries, but blueberries have been found to have compounds that are anti-cancer. One of them, ellagic acid, is being investigated by the National Cancer Institute as a possible anti-carcinogen. Blueberries have been found in research to improve memory in lab animals. The lab animals, when they're fed an extract of blueberry and spinach, they start to behave like little young bucks, and they start to remember things, and they do the maze faster, and they just behave more like younger rats. So blueberries, salmon, grass-fed meat is a superfood. Grass-fed meat is nothing like the meat that we get in the supermarket. It's a different animal, so to speak. It has a different fat content. It's higher in omega-3s. It's higher in a cancer-fighting fat called CLA. It doesn't have antibiotics and steroids and hormones, so grass-fed beef, once or twice a week, really good choice. In the vegetable family, anything that belongs to the brassica family of vegetables, which is, I call them vegetable royalty, that's cabbage and kale and Brussels sprouts and cauliflower. Reason being that these contain plant chemicals called indoles, which have a very positive effect on hormone metabolism and tend to be anti-cancer. Interestingly enough, the way that was discovered was that researchers looked at Polish women coming to America, and in Poland, they had remarkably low rates of breast cancer. When they came to America, these genetically same people, the sisters and brothers of the same people came to America, started eating the American diet. Breast cancer rates go up to the same as that in America. So what is it about the diet? Researchers wanted to know, and after a lot of investigation, they isolated that these people eat a lot of cabbage and a lot of these vegetables, and they contain these plant chemicals called indoles. So certainly kale and cabbage and Brussels sprouts and broccoli would all be among the superfoods without question. And then again, you've got the berries, and you've got protein sources like wild salmon and grass-fed beef, and there's a few others. I mean, avocados would certainly be up there. Avocados surprisingly have a lot of fiber that people don't know about, and yes, they have a lot of calories, but it's all from good stuff. And gosh, I mean, I wrote a book called 150 Healthiest Foods on Earth, and I'd say, fully 1/3 of those are superfoods. So there's a lot of different things in there.